All right. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Beat Review live stream. Today, holiday edition, a Christmas edition, Christmas theme, something like that. We're kind of celebrating Christmas, and last week I told everyone to make, we need to do a little bit of that. Yeah, makes sense. So last week I told everyone to make beats on kind of a holiday theme. And that's what we're here for. That's what all this kind of shenanigans is all about. So, yeah, Christmas or holiday themed live stream of me and you guys together reviewing beats from people in the community. Awesome stuff. We are live and everything seems to work. So, hello everyone. Nice to be here. Glad to have you. Yeah, I guess you guys are noticing that a few things are different with this live stream. I'm not wearing my normal beanie. Instead, I was forced into wearing this one. So that's what we're doing. That's what it is. Accurate looking like an asshole with a hat. Yeah, I know. This is not a good look. Not at all. Oh, sorry, my bad. This is not a good look. I know it's not going to be left like this at all. This is going to... I just wanted to start off with this one on. Maybe a little bit to be, as you said, an asshole, and maybe a little bit just because it's kind of fun. So yeah, hello people. And just to make sure that everything is up and running, that's the chat room right there. Cool. So Long Beats is in the house. Icon 74 too. Dirty 1200. Monos, Blaze Beats, Benjamin Buttons, J to the K. J to the K is by the way the guy who said that I look like an asshole, which is cool, which is fine. I'm totally down for being an asshole. I can live with that. That's fine. I like the snow very much. Yeah, me too. The snow is kind of a nice touch. Subtle enough. This stuff right here, I'm not sure. We could do that. But not yet. We're still in the beginning of the show. So let me just get a few things out of my system here, get a few things straight. First of all, we're just here to listen to beats. That's what it is. And it's all going to be Christmas or holiday themed, so everyone has had exactly pretty much a week to make something on Christmas, on the Christmas theme. What's that supposed to be? I got some questions on the Discord. People were wondering, like, what is even a Christmas themed beat? And I don't know. I made one myself and I sampled some stuff that I considered to be Christmas music, somewhat, and a few different records and some samples and whatever. And I put like the jingle bell kind of thing way low in the track, but still, if you guys think that it's appropriate and kind of themed enough on the theme, that's good enough for me. If it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me. So we do have a few submissions already, so I'm gonna open up the inbox here really soon. But first of all, I gotta get one more thing straight here. You guys have been able to send me these submissions for the entire week, which is totally fine. It's not too many. I don't think so. This episode might be a longer one, though. and that's fine. But I'm gonna set a deadline for the submissions to come in. Right now, it's 8 o'clock my time, so at 9 o'clock, that's the end. You know, if something comes in after 9 o'clock, it's not going to be featured. Everything else will. Everything else is going to be played. I'm going to promise that right now. Everything else that has been submitted that's on theme is going to be played, and we're going to enjoy it and talk about it and all that. But anything that comes in after 9 o'clock, which is in 1 hour from now, 9 o'clock my time, I know it doesn't work that way, but, you know, 1 hour from now, that's the deadline. Anything after 9 o'clock my time, I'm just going to disregard. That's not going to be played. I think that's something. Well, I made up my mind. That's what it's going to be. So, yeah. Also, anyone is welcome to send anything in, as long as you've made it yourself, no matter if you're like a professional or you're a beginner. I just want beats. We just want to listen to beats from people in the community. It's just what it's all about. That's just the thing. If you want to be featured, if you want to join this thing, send an email to beatreview@accuratebeats.com. That's my email for this kind of concept. But yeah, you heard me right, Vida. Everything is going to be played. So we might be doing this for more than 2 hours that I normally try to kind of at least imagine that this thing is going to be. Today we're gonna move past that, I'm sure. But you guys had a week to make something on theme, and just imagine you took the time to do something and you send it in, and you won't even get played, even since you made something on theme because I told you. That doesn't feel fair. So today everything's gonna be played. That's what I've decided. So for now, I think it's time to start getting into the inbox and listening to some actual music. That's what I think. And that's what we're going to do. So this is the official start of the show, which means we can get rid of some of the shenanigans. This is, you know, we're not supposed to have this much fun. So that one goes. And that one goes. And yeah, I actually have hair. I know some people don't believe that, but I do. I just choose to buzz it. That's a better look. It's also a better feel. Cool. So, give me a second to get everything sorted out. As always, I don't think I'm logged into the actual email. So we're going to do a little bit of admin. Let's call this admin work. Yeah, I'm actually logged in. Is this the right one? Accurate at... yeah, okay. This is the Beat Review email. Cool. So we are ready to jump into the inbox. I like that. That's cool. And yeah, let's keep the snow just for a little bit, because why not? We can also get a little bit more light. Cool. Everything works. Keep the overlay. Yeah, we're gonna keep the snow. I don't know about this one. I don't even know how it looks on that. I don't know. It's so corny, so ugly in kind of a fun way, but nah. I'm gonna get tired of that, so no. But yeah, the snow is gonna be here. This is a Christmas theme. And over here we have Swedish julmust. That's also a part of the framing here. Like I put a lot of thought into that. Let's just pretend. Thai beats, I made 3 mixes and used the second one. Okay, and you sent me all of them? I don't know. We're gonna look through that. I'm gonna increase the volume on my mic a little bit, so if you already kind of cranked up your volume, you know, be prepared to take it down, because I need a few decibels of boost here. Just gonna increase the volume on the mic kind of like that. I think that's better and should be more kind of even with the music. So yeah. This drink, it's julmust, Christmas must. Yeah. For people who don't know, it's kind of similar to Coke, but it's also a little bit of it. I mean, one could say that it tastes like Coke and a little bit of like light beer, but it's non-alcoholic. It has a little bit of a more grown-up kind of taste to it, even though everyone drinks it. It's a specific thing for Christmas. It's a specific kind of soda. But yeah, since I've already said that we're going to run this later than normal, let's just get started. First of all, that one has to be from last week. Yeah, and this one is from last week. Okay, I just got to navigate here. Let's see. That's the first one on the 16th. Martin. Martin. Martin Fridén beats, or Fredén. Martin Fredén beats Christmas with Jesus. So the name of the track is Christmas with Jesus. I mean, sure, it feels like it's at least on theme. Why do I have to, let's see. It's a Dropbox link, so it takes a little bit of time, but here we are. That's the file. Open up VLC. And I need confirmation. Yep, that works. Cool. What are you guys saying in the chat room? Now I'm done with all my computer shenanigans, and we're ready to play the first beat from Martin Fridén. That feels corny. His name is Martin Fridén. It's a Swedish guy. Martin Fridén. Damn, I can't click that one. Sorry. I need 2. There we are. 1, 2, and also 3. And snow on all of them, just so everyone knows. Just keep that in mind. There's snow in all the cameras. So, yeah, the first track right now, Martin, on Christmas theme. So when we think about the feedback and everything as always kind of goes. It's just like any other week. But let's also consider, is this really on theme? Does this have anything to do with Christmas? Am I getting a Christmas kind of vibe or holiday kind of spirits? That's one of the factors we need to think about here. Let's get into the first one right now. Yeah, that's the first track. Martin Fredin, Christmas with Jesus. And obviously, he put this vocal sample saying Christmas with Jesus in it, so that counts for something. And I got this kind of wintry, kind of snowy, kind of holiday-ish vibe off of it, which is something. You know, everything doesn't need to be, you know, bells and, you know, big, like, whatever Christmas music is supposed to be. To me, this is Christmas enough, definitely. And the vocal sample in there definitely put it in, you know, it's obviously on Christmas theme. I like everything about this one. First of all, I felt like the drums might be a little bit loud in the mix and everything else a little bit too much behind. Then I increased the volume on my headphones and it kind of made more sense. But still, maybe the drums might be a little bit hot, but maybe not. Don't know. And yeah, Pans keep in the chat room. Yeah, it's missing a little bit on the Christmas theme musically, maybe, but still, it's cozy and gives a little bit of that vibe. I think if you wanted to make a small, tiny little improvement here, maybe there's a little bit of stiffness in the hi-hat. Maybe that could be changed up with a few different layers of velocity. Maybe. Is that necessary? Maybe not. I'm just, you know, splitting hairs, but this is good stuff. I really appreciate this electric kind of jazz guitar and the bass line and the way they work together to filling up the entire thing. It's not too much, but it's not too minimalistic. It's nice and subtle, nice and vibey, and feels more cozy than anything else. And that also goes for my submission this week. It's not a super hard-hitting boom bap beat. It's not obviously Christmas, but it's cozy and feels like, you know, family time, home, sitting around the Christmas tree, you know, Christmas gifts and all that stuff. The coziness is definitely on theme, even though it could be more obvious, but you know, you don't have to be too much on the nose about it, I think. It's simply not that obvious, a Christmas song. No, it's not. But that goes for my submissions too. But yeah. And yeah, Penskibiniski. That's Goblinth. I'm not sure why YouTube changed my aliases. Well, that's Goblinth, who also has a submission. But this one from Martin, I think it's a nice way of starting the entire show off, because it's nice and cozy. It feels like family time. It has some warmth to it. Also a little bit of, not sadness, but like melancholy. I don't hate that. But yeah, I'm onto something with a hi-hat. The hi-hat is a little bit stiff. Not necessarily adding more swing. I'm just talking about changing up the volumes a little bit to give it a little bit more dynamics and more of a human feel, or whatever people are talking about. Well. Dirty 1200 made a horror Christmas theme to be. That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting for sure. I tend to think about cozy, friendly, good times more than horror in this kind of season, but that's me, you know? This is all up to interpretation. There's no right or wrong, I guess. So, this week's first submission, thanks a lot, Martin, for submitting that one. A solid production, nice and cozy, a good balance between things. Love it a lot. And the next one, this is from, okay, there we are. Senior Beats, who has been featured before, I think. I didn't recognize the name, but Senior Beats in the actual file name, that's who this one came from. So, all right. Let's see if this one is even more obviously on theme, or maybe not. Who knows? Senior Beats, the track is called In the Streets, and the email doesn't say Yeah, hello. This is from my and Happy New Year. This is from my and Happy New Year. Great. Great stuff. Senior beats. Let's go.
Let me start that up. Three teachers, young ones. Three teachers, young ones. Three teachers, young ones. Three teachers, young ones. On a cold Brooklyn night. On a cold Brooklyn night. On a cold Brooklyn night. Survival takes its toll. It's cold. Money, power, danger. All in the fray. All in the fray. Three teachers, young ones. Three teachers, young ones. Three teachers, young ones. Three teachers, young ones.
Nice. This time around, I mean, we can't hate on stuff like that in this entire stream. It's not obviously on Christmas theme. Not super obvious, but you know, I've said that I'm gonna play everything, so I'm just gonna. A nice and solid track though. Love the kind of drum fill. Dun, 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 dun. Love that. Awesome stuff. And love like the entire choir thing and the vocal sample and everything. But somehow, and yeah, the drums slaps. I mean, great stuff altogether. But as always, because I'm trying to find like weak points and whatever, something about the production felt a little bit empty to me. It's nice and full and it's properly mixed and it's loud and everything, but there's something. I feel like there's a lot of room in there, which makes it like spacious and kind of nice. But the way I think about it, you could have also added maybe just like what we talked about last week. Maybe I'm just talking about adding some kind of instrument in the mid-range of the frequency spectrum, because we have a lot of bass and we have the vocal thing, but there's not much more going on. And it's already a lot and it's already nice and full, but it's still something that feels like, yeah, you could have added a piano or strings or Rhodes or a guitar loop or I don't know. Made So Well points it out too. There was a huge drop-off of energy from the intro to the actual main part of the track. Yeah, because this feels like a build-up. We're waiting for something, you know?
Let me start that up.
That section right there should maybe be the first thing that happened after the intro. Maybe. To have something loud and punchy in your face. But there's still something about like the overall vibe of it. I feel the heaviness, I feel the bass, I feel the power. But still, feels like there's a gap in the middle there. What are you drinking? We already talked about that. That's Swedish julmust. Non-sugar, non-alcoholic, kind of a blend between Coke and beer. It doesn't taste like beer, but it has some kind of grown-up. I don't even know what it is. So it got, yeah, hops, right? In English. Think about it as like Coke with a little bit of hops in it. It's good. It's sweet. It's like a soda. But it's definitely a Christmas thing. You know, there's a Santa and everything on there. A Swedish jultomte. Tomten. Tomte is the Swedish word for Santa. So yeah. Senior Beats sent in this one. Nice and solid. Not super obviously Christmas, but still. And as I said,
3 teachers, young ones. 3 teachers.
something more to complement this vocal thing would be cool. I do love the snare drum. A great snare drum. 100%. And who was that from? That was Senior Beats. And where is he in the email? He's right there. Cool stuff. Let's move on to the next one. Let's just bang them out. Hello, Accurate. I'm Ivan, your new follower. My one new follower? That's cool. Thank you. This is my second submission, and I really appreciate you and your fans' feedback on my last one. And gotta craft it accordingly. But today's submission is an entirely different one. Must be cool to add some aggressive rap on some new metal type beat. Thanks for the review. You know what? This guy said absolutely nothing about holiday or... Yeah, okay. The file name is Santa's Day. My bad. I'm not going to be that hard. No. But it sounds kind of scary. Today's submission is an entirely different one. Must be cool to add some more aggressive rap on some new metal type beat. Okay, new metal is far from what I listen to on the daily, but the track is called Santa's Day, and it's from my new follower, so, you know, couldn't go wrong. Couldn't go wrong. All right. Again, the name of this one. Keep forgetting. Well, Evon. Evon. Santa's Day. Let's go! Ha! Am I the only one who feels like that kind of synth guitar kind of thing is almost impossible to listen to? Or is it just me? Let's see my settings. I might be monitoring in stereo. It might be something like that. Outputs. No, everything is in mono on my part. Well, sorry to stop the beat, but yeah, let's get back to it. We're gonna listen to the entire thing, not from the beginning, but from here. I just had to point out the fact that it sounds kind of... Don't stop it. No, I'm sorry. Let's go back a little bit. Okay, so let me just explain myself real quick. I had my setting wrong, so I heard like just one of the sides. I just heard the left side of the music. Normally I have this dual kind of stereo thing going on, so I can hear both the right and the left one in my functioning ear. And then the mix became even worse. So now with this kind of setting fixed up, I heard what I'm supposed to hear. This guitar synth kind of thing is still way too loud. It's overbearingly loud, and it's kind of, I guess this is someone who tries to do kind of a, what are they called? What are those guys called? My daughter played it the other day. System of a Down. Having harsh contrast between like one little cutesy part of things and then going super hard with distortion and stuff. And it's kind of cool, kind of fun to listen to, but it's also, when it comes to that kind of distortion and stuff, I just have an allergy for it. I'm not a fan. Kind of don't understand it, kind of don't like it. But in this case, if you would have taken down the volume, I can see how the contrast is kind of effective and interesting and cool. But we also had sections in here that felt kind of Depeche Mode, with the kind of arpeggiating bass line. And also the bells, of course. We had bells, so we're totally on holiday theme. Love that for this. That's awesome. But to me, this guitar, it's not a guitar, as you're pointing out. It's a guitar synth, or just a synth. It's too loud. It takes over everything in a way that I feel doesn't really make sense. But this section right here has some kind of poppy, 80s kind of synth disco vibe to it. And it's kind of fun. With some cowbell percussions and whatever. I don't hate that. That's kind of fun. But I think the concept here is the contrast between one part and the other. And sometimes stuff like that works. Sometimes it doesn't. My personal musical taste comes into play here, and I gotta be honest, I think it's hard to listen to. Even though the pitch thing, going from one pitch to another, like sliding, it's fun. Someone spent a lot of time producing this, and it's not bad, but it just has a few things that becomes kind of an ear sore, if that's even a word. Well, that's what it is. But it's definitely on theme. It has some Christmas elements to it, and we gotta appreciate that. We gotta. This section right here with the kind of pulse wavy synth is interesting. Everything sounds really electronic, and, it's obvious that it's made on a computer or a synth, or a workstation, or whatever it might be. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But this overall kind of aesthetic is not really up my alley, but whatever. It's a solid piece of music. Some cool build up with the bass and everything. Interesting. And 100% on theme. We can't hate that. We're gonna move into another one. But this one came from Ethan, my new follower. Appreciate you a lot. I do. Now, maybe I want to play my track right now. Yeah, I think I do. I'm pretty sure. My little submission for this week. Normally I don't play my own music in these live streams because it's supposed to be all about you guys, and it is all about you guys. But last week someone said, "Hey, Accurate, you should submit." So I took a little bit of time yesterday and I made something with a few samples that came out kinda on theme, or pretty much on theme to me. It's not super obvious for this one either. It's gonna be a cozy family time kind of beat more than anything hard knocking or super, aggressive and whatever. And also, I know I'm just making excuses here, but I made this one yesterday. So I had a bad case of ear fatigue when I mixed it. So a few of the mixing decisions here might be totally south, totally wrong. In that case, it's on me. But, James Rockwell, I hope it's very traditional. No, it's not. I guess a lot of people in the US can kind of see what the sample is. I flipped it and I made a few things about it, but James heard it and he knows he knows exactly what sample it is. It's about 2 minutes long. It's something I made. I'm not super proud of it. I'm not super happy with the mix. Yada yada yada. Let's just play my track for the fun of it. Cozy time. Cozy times. That's the theme here. Yeah, so the brick wall limiting and kind of like the mastering wasn't really what it was supposed to be, but still. Damn. I haven't heard that one on these headphones since like last night sometime. And there are some stuff there I need to fix. Definitely.
Merry Christmas.
Well, that's my submission for this week. I think it's on theme. It's a sample from, well, if you don't know what sample it is, who cares? This beat progresses so nicely. Thank you. The entire kind of the two main loops this is made out of are kind of similar to one another. I want to make a different section that's way different, but this is all I had time to do. There are samples from 3 different Christmas songs in there somewhere. And also the Home Alone, Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal, of course. Totally different place than we started. Yeah, maybe. So yeah, that's my little track. Need to work on it if I want to release it or make something out of it, but
Very good. And a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
well, it is what it is. I'm not going to toot my own horn more than I need, but that's my submission for this week. I think it's on theme. I think it has a Christmas holiday kind of spirit to it, even though it's not obviously. But we had the bells in there, and we had the sample from Home Alone, and the entire main sample is from the Peanuts thing with the Charlie Brown Christmas music stuff. So yeah, let's move along to the next one. And the next submission comes from none other than Charlie 1200. Charlie 1200? I just made up a name. That's interesting. Dirty 1200 back again. Time was tight, so don't expect a polished mix or anything. Just a quick beat. Samples are from the Emotions. What Do the Lonely Do at Christmas? From Black Christmas from 1974. I mean, sampling the Emotions, yeah, we've all done it. Not this track maybe, but still. Dirty 1200, and the name of the file is Nightmare Christmas. So this is what it talked about. A horror kind of Christmas beat. So let's play it and let's listen to Dirty 1200. Thanks a lot for all the nice words about my submission in the chat room. I appreciate that. Thank you. Dirty 1200, let's go.
Hello? Hello? Who is this? What do you want? Why are you doing this?
Man, the intro was unsettling. Damn, definitely horror theme. This is not a comfortable thing to listen to. And I noticed in the chat room that everyone told me to replay my track again. I don't know. Normally I don't replay tracks. Doesn't feel fair, so maybe not. This one though, I mean, the file is 2 minutes long as it should. And pretty much half of it is this super scary intro. But then when the beat actually drops... nice and punchy and tight and well put together. Not too many things going on, just nice and solid, like a quick kind of beat. But on the fourth turnaround with the string ringing out, it's nice. Right there. Nice. Yeah, love it. And there's a lot of stuff in the background. I guess it's just parts of the sample, but the way it comes through whenever you listen to it like carefully, interesting. Really cool. Someone in the chat sampled the same track and came out totally different. Yeah, that's what's cool about sampling. And, you know, I don't have a lot to say about the intro here because it's just scary.
What do you want?
So many like sounds and everything. But yeah, classic, boom bappy, kind of. Someone mentioned I Am. I don't know. It kind of feels like it could be a beat for, Apathy or someone like that. Self-titled, whatever those guys are called. It's good. Evil and dark, and sure, it's that. If that's Christmas for you, not gonna take that away from you. Not gonna take that away from you. Oh my God, we have a lot of beats. Yeah, let's get ready to make this one kind of an extended version of the show. This is gonna be a longer episode for sure. But yeah, Dirty 1200, good job with this one, for sure. And the next beat, the next submission for this holiday special theme. Why is there an image? Oh, there's an audio file too. I see. So let's take the audio file. As I'm doing stuff, I can't, drop the ball totally. Santa's Workshop. That's here, right? It is. And it's supposed to be there. Cool. So the next submission comes from Symphonic Beats. Hello, Accurate. I bought a lot of vinyl the same day you and I announced the stream. So then I wondered if there was a Christmas record on it. In it. And to my surprise, there was. This is a flip with some layering and a minimal mini freak pad on it. Just like the Halloween beat, this one also got the Portal Studio treatment. I love these streams and I can't wait to hear everyone else's beats. Yeah, me too. This is really cool. Having a theme and everything adds something. For sure. We're getting close to the time cutoff. Yeah, good. Thanks for reminding us. At 9 o'clock, I'm not accepting more submissions. Or if I did, we could do this forever. And you can just say that this is Christmas to me, and you just send it in, and people are cheating the system. This one is sampled from an actual Christmas record, though, so that's something. Symphonic Beats. The beat is called Santa's Workshop. Let's give it a listen. Damn, I need to get back to making beats like that again too. Like sticking with the program, straight up boom bap, just chopping up samples in an interesting and kind of creative way, drums, and then just, go with the energy. This is good stuff. Super, super, super on theme. It's obviously a Christmas song. There's obviously Christmas samples in there. And it also has a vibe. It doesn't feel like a joke, because it's easy to just do something and like take the most corny ass kind of Christmas music you can find and make something really corny with it as kind of a joke. This feels like a good, solid production. I could hear beat nuts or whatever on this. This is good. And what's really impressive to me, I mean, building up a beat like this is difficult. I'm not saying that it's, easy work. It's difficult and it takes talent. But what you added here around like the 1 minute mark, there. It's not a lot of notes, but it adds a lot of interest. It adds a lot of focus. Yeah, I get something new to listen to. Something else shows up that kind of wasn't there before, and it doesn't take anything away from what we already have. It's just, And the different sections, I mean, the arrangement of this one, just stacking up different versions of using the same kind of samples in different ways. Impressive, creative, good stuff across the board. Really great stuff. And I've said that a lot about symphonic beats, I know. He's a talented guy. He makes good stuff. In terms of critique or like things to improve, hard to say. The bass line and everything just sits where it should. So much better than my submission. So, I mean, who am I to talk, right? Good stuff. Symphonic beats, thanks a lot. Now we have another email that's kind of a headache to figure out what it is and how I'm supposed to deal with it. 3 emails in one. Give me a second to figure this out. So that's 15, 503, 503, 5010. So that's the order of things. Hey, I hope that all is well. Here's something I created after dinner on Sunday. I hope it makes the grade. Happy holidays. Cheers. Charisma Christmas. That's fine. And that's a file. And then there's another email which is totally empty. And there's then another one. I forgot to put my name in the first email. Okay, so the name is Chocolate Boy Swagger. We've had you on before. Chocolate Boy Swagger is the name of the producer, and the name of the track is Charisma Christmas. Christmas with a C at the end. Charisma Christmas. That's a tongue twister. Charisma Christmas by Chocolate Boy Swagger. Let's get into it.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. It's the most wonderful time.
Christmas Day.
It's the most wonderful time.
Christmas Day. On Christmas Day. On Christmas Day.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Yeah. I can't really see the Christmas theme though. Imagine if I was that guy. You know, this is cool. Someone did a lot of work with vocal samples from classic kind of Christmas songs in a really interesting and cool and again very creative way. Sometimes the pitch and the tuning is a little bit on the edge, but I don't know. Have yourself, and it's also kind of cool because have yourself a merry little Christmas. We're so used to hearing that on a specific kind of beat in a specific rhythm, and here you kind of switched it up so it doesn't work, but it works in a different way. Kind of cool. The backing track, if we can say that, behind all the different samples. Impressive work to get all those samples in there and make it to work. But the backing track itself,
Merry little, have yourself a merry little Christmas.
I mean, that bass tone is interesting together with the pad. The drum programming, I mean, it could be done in kind of a different way. Not sure it would be better, but the hi-hat stands out in a way that I'm not a huge fan of. The hi-hat is too loud.
On Christmas Day.
And with all the effects, all the layering and the reverbs and the delays and stuff, that kind of, makes everything into a big old mess, but that still works musically. It's a cool touch. Using presets in software or hardware or whatever you do, it's a smart choice, because if you just slapped on all those vocal singing parts on the bass track, it wouldn't be as interesting as it is. But the processing and everything makes it come together.
A merry little Christmas.
And there is something a little bit mysterious about the backing track that's keeping it kind of fresh and interesting. And, if I wanted to break this apart for real, sure, in some of the places where like the pitch value sticks out a little bit, could be fixed, but would take a lot of time, and, who cares at this point? This is cool for what it is. More of a collage, maybe, but you still have the backing track. I mean, it's cool.
It's the most wonderful time.
That's interesting. That's really cool.
Christmas Day.
But I think you would kind of get more of that dark, kind of mysterious vibe, maybe without the hi-hat entirely, or just taking down the hi-hat a lot, like lowering, 8 dB or something. Or maybe just taking it out to leave space for everything to happen. Nice work. Definitely nice work. This was from Chocolate Boy Swagger. Interesting stuff. Ambient and kind of interesting and cool and mysterious and whatever, and also fun with all the samples. For sure. Impressive. And thanks a lot for sending it in. And I gotta stress that one more time. I asked you guys to do Christmas themed music in a week. Well, which is kind of crazy. Who has a week to just work on something like that? Not that it takes a week, but this week in particular, with like buying gifts and wrapping gifts and doing stuff like cooking and whatever for family, the fact that you guys took the time to do this stuff is honestly really cool. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play my submission again. Not for you guys this time. This is all for me because now we've heard a few pieces of music. I want to hear my own thing again just to, in context. And I think I'm going to be douchebag enough to play the entire thing. It's my stream. You know? I'm the boss here.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening?
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. And a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening?
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Sorry. You know what? I feel better about my submission. I do. There is a lot of problems going on with the bass line being like too much. I think I just used the wrong bass sound. I didn't think much about it. But it has a vibe to it. It has a vibe, and I'm not ashamed of it. It's not my best work at all, and it needs to be fixed. But still, it's my submission. I feel better about it. Let's move on to the next one, the next real submission. No, first of all, let's point this out to be clear. It's now 9:10 my time. So we've been live for an hour, and this is the deadline. The deadline passed 9 minutes ago, but you know what I'm saying. You can't submit beats anymore. So this one up here needs to go from that one. Damn. It also needs to go from that one, and it needs to go from where the fuck is it? It's not there. It's not there. Whatever. I need to do something about that scene. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna try to not click that anymore. The next track from Atermonos. Hello, Accurate. I liked your idea to make a Christmas beat review. This Christmas beat made on Reason 12. I enjoyed this beat a lot. I hope you like it too. Cool. Atermonos back with another submission. This time he points it out himself. It's on theme. And the track, the name of the file is Christmas Instrumental. At the Monos. Let's go. So yeah, I guess the theme for today is Christmas and holiday, obviously, with the snowflakes. I think I actually took some of the snowflakes out of this. No, I didn't. The theme is Christmas and holiday, sure. But the word for today seems to be creativity. This is also a really creative way of using different samples and different elements of things. Interesting stuff. Really interesting stuff. The main theme here, dun 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 dun, makes me think of MacGyver, and that says something about my age. I'm sure, but MacGyver, you know the old TV show. I'm not saying it's sampled from that, but it kind of reminds me of it. And that's fun. I gotta be honest and say that, yeah, we are on the theme, which is really cool. Love that. But we have a few issues with this one. There are some problematic things. I think it's really cool. And what happened? Is this track 4 minutes long? It's not 4 minutes. It's 2 minutes. Something wrong with the counter. A lot of stuff happened in this one. It's not a stale kind of arrangement at all. It has a lot of life in it, and there's a lot of things going on. But with the production in general, what stands out about this one is that a few of the singing parts, even though it's cool that it's borrowed from a bunch of different Christmas songs, some of the stuff is not in tune to me. I thought it was Matlock. Maybe it is. To me, it sounds like MacGyver. Could be Matlock. I don't know. But some of the singing parts. It's cool to put him in, but if it doesn't work pitch-wise, it needs to be retuned somehow or just replaced with something else. I think you don't even have to be a producer or a musician yourself to kind of notice something like that. even if you just have somewhat of a sense of what's right and wrong in pitch, something like this stands out as kind of a sore thing. And the production in general, someone mentioned that it sounds kind of flat, and it does. The bass is nice and deep and cool, but the kick drum, over there too, the singing doesn't work. The bass line, from a pitch perspective, so-so. I mean, this is not flat out bad stuff, but I'm just trying to point out what things could be improved or worked on or fixed, so to speak. And I think there's this like common misconception that you can't use a bass line in even remotely the same kind of frequency range as the kick drum, and that's not true. You can. You need to scoop out some stuff sometimes and make it work, but in this case it feels like, the bass line is down here, so the kick drum needs to be way up here. Because of the bass drum being I need the kick drum to be, and that's not true. The main idea with the sample here is cool. Matlock might be, I don't know what it is. 80s kind of, spy movie. But the problem is, to me, mixing in general could be balanced differently, and the singing parts doesn't work when it comes to the tuning. But we have sections here that does work. Well, I don't know what happens, but something happens. So another submission from Atimonos, an interesting and a fun and creative way of using samples. Definitely, hands down. Could it be improved? Yeah, I think it could. And I think you know what to do. But thanks a lot for submitting, and thanks a lot for spending this time to make something on theme. Awesome stuff. Atimonos, love having you as a part of the community, for real. Now, the next track comes from Just Matt. Hi, Ack. It's Just Matt here, submitting my holiday special beat. I finally have a new moniker. Okay. FREQ.WAV, pronounced Freak Wave. So you're not Just Mad anymore. You're Freak Wave. Cool. Freak Wave sounds good. It looks FREQ.wave. Freak Wave. Sure. Internet kind of, sure, works. It more than works. The name Freak Wave, that's good. This beat is all sample chops. One-shots and using key group feature on the bass and bell parts, which are using samples too. Yeah, key groups are samples, right? All inside the MPC Live 3, this one right here. Not really a final mix, as I would like to go back later and mix my MPC beats in Pro Tools, a DAW I'm way more experienced in, and I have better plugins. Yeah, that makes sense. I hope it gets played. It will get played. Happy holidays, Freak Wave. Temporarily known as Just Matt. Well, Freak Wave. Freak Wave. And fittingly enough, the track is called freakwave.wave. Now, Finder kind of crashed on me. Downloads, Freakwave. There we are. Let's go! You know, as someone who uses samples himself, this takes a lot of chopping. This is all samples. I mean, if you would have done something like this, you downloaded a bunch of MIDI files and just put it into a DAW and made everything line up, that would be one thing. In this case, it's all samples, and he's pretty much chopping in so many places. Kind of crazy and cool. Definitely on theme. And to me, it's kind of impressive to hold the beat itself together with the drums and the bass, and then allowing all these different Christmas carols, Christmas songs to come in and out in different places. So anyone who's ever heard Christmas music will understand where things are being taken from, but it feels different from what you're normally used to hearing. That's a nice kind of way of thinking about this concept and like flipping the script on us. Love that. Think that's cool. Maybe I would have done something a little bit even more kind of obvious with the bass line, because it kind of just sits there and it just works. Could have been a different kind of bass sound. Could have been more attitude down there to kind of make it even spicier. But whatever. This amount of chopping for the different piano parts and making everything work, when it comes to the pitch, that's cool. You can't be working in like whatever key you want with the bass line if you want everything to work, and then flip the script and do, you know. Cool. And this right here, I don't think I've ever heard this. You know, the whole, it feels like the first I was afraid, I was petrified kind of thing. But then rewinding it. That's nice. And the whole bass rhythm is really heavy and really forward on 1 and 3. Nice and solid. And then just a collage of different. Really channeling the whole jazz vibe from the original material here, but flipped in a few ways. And you are in the chat room as Count Matula, which is not a bad name either, but yeah. Okay, cool. But I mean, when you're using stuff like this in this kind of way and making everything work, it just feels, as someone's pointing out, musical and good. It's just solid. There's not much to talk about. There's just a bunch of Christmas songs on piano together with everything else. Makes sense. It's cool. And he is a bass guitarist playing in punk bands and hardcore and whatever. That's something else. A nice track. A nice way of a nice, cool and interesting take on this kind of theme. Love it. This is what it's all about, you know? The next email has a meme in it. It's from Goblinth. Didn't you say something earlier about... No, that wasn't you, my bad. Goblinth. It's a meme. Started making it, had a breakdown. Bon appetit. Okay, so... he started making this one, he had a breakdown, and now it's here for our enjoyment. Goblinth, let's see what you cooked up on Christmas theme. The track is called Christmas-ish.mp3, so whatever. And by the way, Made So Well showed up kind of like half an hour ago with a super chat for $50. Merry Christmas accurate, and I didn't even say anything about it. Made So Well, thank you, man. This happened last week too, from someone else. Donating money to this live stream is appreciated, but again, I want to point it out. It's not something you need to do. There's no way of skipping the line or anything like that. You know that. I know that you know that. I'm not just saying in general. Donating is, I love it. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. But no one should feel forced to do it. That's not why we do this. But thanks a lot. Made so well. Love it. Appreciate it. Now, let's move into Goblin. That's the mic. There we are. It caught me by surprise. Goblin, Christmas-ish. I mean, there are Christmas samples in there. I can tell. If you would have sent me this in July, not sure I would kind of notice and put everything together, but still, cool stuff. The main takeaway here is that this feels like a solid foundation for something. It could be worked on, it could be polished, it could be mixed a little bit differently and kind of made as punchy as it deserves to be. Because I kind of, at least I believe that I know exactly what you were going for here, what the plan was. And you kind of nailed the execution, but kind of not. The sample itself is cool and it works with the drums and everything. From a rhythmical perspective and from a pitch perspective, everything. Just something about the overall mixing and the punchiness of it. It feels like this should be more. You want this to be more aggressive than what I'm hearing. That's what I'm reading out of this. I mean, this is hard. Okay, that's a double one. Different sections and everything. To me, this is obviously a rap beat. Someone like, I mean, it has a little bit of primo vibes in it, as someone pointed out. Hearing someone like Royce the 5'9" on this would definitely work. Needs to be changed up somehow. Safe mix, probably too safe. Maybe, I also think if we want to go into the details of sample selection, to me, something as simple as replacing this hi-hat sample could transform the kind of energy and vibe of it in a way that I think I would like better. Something simple as that. because the hi-hat being this low pitch kind of dirty thing, if that was kind of a brighter, more cut through-y kind of hi-hat, not more in volume, but you know, something about the tone of the hi-hat. And I love the bell kind of thing. Could just be a matter of compression. Could just be a matter of compression and different EQ settings. Could help. Could be the entire thing. I don't know why I'm focusing on the hi-hat, but it feels like the hi-hat kind of puts a tone in there that doesn't really belong. Cool usage of the sample though. Using a sample like this, like as stabs, that's very primo-esque, and it's cool. And maybe it's something about the bass sound too, because some of the bass notes comes out clearly and some of them gets hidden away. Some bass presets or bass instruments are kind of like that. And some samples too, that in some specific notes it sounds way different than in others. Maybe. I almost can't hear the hi-hat. What? It's programmed well. It's just the sample, I think. This is good stuff. I mean, we are on the Christmas theme, and we have some good vibes, and it's a good track. I'm just, again, trying to pinpoint what I would do differently or what could be changed up. Not necessarily for the better. I'm wrong sometimes and whatever. But yeah, Goblin, thanks a lot for sending this one in. Thanks a lot for hanging out in the chat room and being a part of everything. Woo! Cool stuff. We are having a good time. And it's been 1.5 hours, and we've already played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 beats, including mine. And we played mine twice, because it's unfair like that. The next beat comes from, let's see if I can find a name first. No, let's see if I can actually download the file. It looks like a link that could cause me some trouble. What is this system? Mailbox.org? And it looks like I have... Oh, it's some kind of drive. It's like a Google Drive, but it's not Google. And it's not Dropbox. There's a link. Der Link wurde in die Schwächenenklavle kopiert. So I copied the... Okay. Let me figure this out. Clicking that one doesn't work. And everything becomes German. Should be a download kind of icon somewhere. I'm getting to know a German kind of system. That's the file. You know, the icon for downloading should be somewhat universal, but in this case... Is that... No, that's sharing it forward. No, wrong. No, I don't want to log into anything. Let me get in there. Can I right click? Okay, so Ansicht or herunterladen. That could be download. It was. Interesting. We have a track. We have a file. A normal MP3. I took the MP3. Here we are. So now let's get back to the actual email. Hi, Just saw yesterday your YouTube short, and it nudged me to recreate an old beat by me that I liked for the idea but hates the results so far. This is the download for the 2025 version. Would be great to get some feedback in your show. Enjoy your holiday season. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Cheers. From T. And there's also a name, but I'm going to try to avoid that. This is from someone in Germany calling themselves T. And the track is called Alone with Merry Christmas. Not Christmas, Christmas. Alone with Christmas. And who is this? Rockwell? James Rocky with another super chat. That's $5. Thanks a lot, guy. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot, guy. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So, T. The next track from T. Let's go. And it ended. That's cool. So this is him remaking one of his old beats, and it's definitely a Christmas track, so who am I to complain, right? This is good. Someone said that it's easy on the ears, and that's what it is. It sounds, it's just good. It's not amazing, fantastic, and something you kind of like, oh, that's the best thing I've ever heard. But there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a solid track. A few of the creative choices here are a little bit out of the ordinary to someone like me. I mean, the snare drum and the overall drums. That kind of snare, it feels like kind of a broken snare drum, and also saturated and overdriven and whatever, pitched in a kind of a way that makes it sound kind of hollow, or samples like that are not uncommon in breakbeats and stuff, and using it in this kind of tempo, in this vibe, is a different kind of choice, but I'm not hating it. I think it's cool. It's kind of obvious, I might be wrong, but to me it's kind of obvious that there's some type of stem separation going on, or some type of resampling of a source that's not optimal because of the sound quality of the sample itself. The idea of using the sample this way is phenomenal, and the rest of the production holds everything well together, awesome stuff. But you can't deny that the audio quality of the sample it has a bunch of artifacts, and it's kind of obvious from someone who makes beats themselves. Someone who doesn't make beats would probably not even think twice about it. Or maybe they would. I don't know. Goblin said, I feel like the sample is too lo-fi, but in the MP3 kind of way. Honestly, he also sent me a WAV file, and I just chose the other one because downloading the file was kind of a headache with this German thing. But now let's get back in there. We're not going to play the entire track, of course, but let me just import the WAV file and see if that sounds way different. Could be the fact. This is now the WAV file. Sure, it's higher bitrate and whatever, but the sample still has a bunch of artifacts, which is not the end of the world, but I just couldn't not notice it in this case. The way it's used, the way you used the sample and flipped it is good. A bunch of different variations and different parts of the same sample flipped in a bunch of ways that creates tension and interesting parts through the entire thing, which is something a lot of people just don't do. But I think if we had all the frequencies from the source material for the sample, it would just sound better. Dirty 1200 sampled the same song. I used YouTube for sample. For this track, from my submission, that's what I did too. I don't have the actual record, this whole Charlie Brown record. So I actually sampled it from YouTube too. Sometimes you get a lot of artifacts and bad audio quality, and it is what it is, you know. Martin, haven't checked in a while, but happy to see you keeping up the series going. Accurate. Merry Christmas. Yeah, thanks for checking in, Martin. And yeah, we're doing this every other week. Now it's been every week for, I don't know. Thanks. But this track it's cool. I mean, it's... And the drum fills with the distortion and everything. Yeah. Salberts became a member 9 months ago. Merry Christmas to the whole Accurate Beat family from Salberts. Thanks a lot, man. That's not a super chat. That's a sticker, I think. One of the things you can do as a member. Appreciate it. Salberts. One of the good guys. So thanks a lot, T, for sending this one in. It's a nice idea, a cold time kind of track in general, but I can't stop complaining about the audio quality. And that's not on you, of course. The composition, the beat itself, cool. Interesting drum choice, but not bad. Now, the next one comes from someone we all know from previous episodes. A guy called Lom Beats, who says, yo, when it's Christmas, but you love boom bap. / boom bappa class. Parentheses, Lom. So yeah, a submission from Lom, when it's Christmas, but you love boom bap. Sure. And then the track itself is called An Accurate Christmas. I love that. Let's all have an accurate Christmas. I know I'm gonna. Lom Beats, let's go. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Accurate Christmas. That's nice. Love it. Long beats with another submission. Definitely on theme. I mean, how many times can you say Merry Christmas in a track? I think in 1 minute and 40 seconds, this is some kind of world record. But, I mean, the foundation here, the drums and the bass line isn't that kind of exciting and doesn't have that much going on, but it sits so nicely in the thing that I just think it's really, really good. And somehow it doesn't become too repetitive with this Merry Christmas thing. It's not that repetitive, even though it plays a lot of times. And it's obvious. It's Christmas and you love boom bap. So you left the drums kind of loud and everything punchy and in your face, but still in this low tempo that has this kind of walking kind of feel to it. Like it. I don't know if I love it because it's good. You put it together in this amount of time and you also shouted me out at the end. I mean, you can't go wrong. And with the chord changes and stuff, it becomes kind of sad and serious, but also kind of, it has kind of a precious vibe to it for some reason. Sure, maybe the drums are a little bit too loud if you want to like be a bitch about it, but it sounds good as it is. And it's definitely on Christmas theme. 100%. 100%. Thanks for listening. I don't love it either. Christmas beats are hard to make. Yeah, I mean, this challenge I put you guys through doesn't really even feel fair, because what is a Christmas beat? Is everyone supposed to use Christmas samples? That's not what I said. It's supposed to be Christmassy somehow. And you kind of hit the nail on the head. It's what it is. Hannibal Actor says a few strings in the back would have been nice. Yeah, maybe something to contrast. Maybe something to brighten everything up a little bit. And that thing in the background. That added a lot of flavor to it. Good stuff. Long beats showing up with a strong submission yet again. Thank you. Long beats. And I'm not saying that this is bad, because it's not. It's a dope track for what it's worth. You know what I'm noticing, guys? We are getting closer to 10 o'clock, which is 2 hours of live streaming, which means I'm going to try to speed things up a little bit, not wrap things up. We're going to play everything today. I said that and I'm going to stand by it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 13 more beats to go. So we're going to do this for a while. We are. 13 beats, 2 minutes each. That's half an hour right there. And then all my yapping about. Yeah. It's going to be a long one. And I said that from the get-go. But everyone's going to get played. No doubt about it. This one is from Thai Mass. Thai Beats. Hi, Accurate Beats. I hope you're doing well. I'm submitting my latest beat for the Beat Review show. It's a Christmas-themed track with a unique twist, blending trap production with elements of funk and funk. As a trap producer stepping into this holiday vibe, I have to admit, it left me feeling a bit lost at times. I hope I'm not the only one. No. I hope I'm not the only one who's felt that way with experimenting with these styles. I'd love to hear your honest feedback on it. Time Ass is the name of the song. Thanks for taking the time to listen, and happy holidays from Thai Beats. Okay, blending trap production with elements of funk. And it's also on Christmas theme. Woo! Thai Beats. Over there. Thai Beats. Let's go.
Was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in the hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Soon would be there.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Soon would be there.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Soon would be there.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I'm just ignorant, but apart from the last, like, 20 seconds, what's trap about this? Because whenever you're using, like, 16-note hi-hats on this kind of tempo, it becomes trap, I guess. But nothing else about this feels trap to me. I mean, maybe the hi-hat.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And honestly, I think that hi-hat doesn't add anything. Just take the entire hi-hat track out, and it's just boom, ka, boom, boom, ka. That would have been better to me. But as people are saying in the chat room, there's an intro before the intro, and then the beat starts. The file is 1 minute and 47 seconds, and this, let's see, starts at 1:26. So we had, like, 20 seconds of beat. But everything before that, I mean, the first intro feels a little bit out of place. It's hard for me to put that together with the rest of the stuff. So when it comes to the consistency of it, I'm not sure. To me, that's kind of bossa nova. This thing right there, if I would have made like an intro for this specific live stream on the Christmas theme, using something like that would be cool. It has a cool vibe to it, and it's like serious and kind of dark and still like Merry Christmassy. Cool kind of contrast.
Happy New Year.
But we also had a few roads.
Wish you Happy New Year.
That kind of turnaround, that's cool.
And a Happy New Year. Wish you a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, kind of dark and kind of evil. Not sure about that fast hi-hat. It doesn't feel... It feels, again, a little bit out of place. But as an entire piece of audio, this is fun. It's cool to listen to, but it feels like an intro stacked on top of an intro before something, you know. If this is a full composition that's like 5 minutes long, sure. In this kind of context, in this way, I have a little bit of a hard time wrapping my head around what it actually is, but it all sounds kind of cool.
Happy New Year.
Apart from the hi-hat, I gotta point that out.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Thai beats. That's a cool submission. It's a little bit different, and I'm not sure if I understand this trap production with an element of funk. Maybe there's a little bit of funk in there. The trap being like the fast hi-hat. I'm not sure. We don't need to put words on stuff in all cases, you know? Sometimes it's just music. It's just a produced piece of audio, and it sounds kind of cool. In terms of feedback on this one, I don't know what to say. Leave it as it is to the most part, but this 16-note hi-hat doesn't need to be there. Just dive deeper into the whole dark, mysterious, kind of lackluster vibe of it, and I think that's going to be a stronger thing in its entirety. Good stuff. Thai Beats, thanks a lot for sending it in. That's a fun piece of music to listen to. It is. And the next submission comes from Benjamin. And I keep confusing who's who, but this is Benjamin Buttons. Right? Fuck. Benji, not the least. Just got another NPC, another 2K, but 2K XL this time. I got two 2Ks now. This was done on that. So this one was made on the NPC 2000 XL. Made this one last minute today. Made, tracked, and quick mixed this afternoon. Merry fucking Christmas. Yeah, Merry fucking Christmas right back at you. Benji, let's go.
Are you excited about Christmas?
No.
Fuck Christmas.
My first time working the Christmas beat.
You sent an updated one through. Okay, this is not the file you want me to play. Okay. So there's another email from Benj. Let's find it. There we are. Scanning for viruses. Are you trying to? No, you're not. So this is the version he once played. So let's take that one out of VLC and yeah, here we are. Is my mic even on? My mic might be off. No, it's on. Now it's off. Benj, let's go.
Are you excited about Christmas?
No.
Fuck Christmas.
My first time working the Christmas beat.
Fuck Christmas.
Can you stay with me until the end of the Christmas beat?
No, fuck you. Fuck Christmas.
Fuck Christmas.
Fuck Christmas. Fuck Christmas.
Fucking Christmas. Merry fucking Christmas. Merry fucking Christmas.
Cool. I think that's the right file, right? You sent an updated. This is the updated one. It's called fix001. That's the file. This is the S900 layered with MPC 2000 XL for drums. Cool. Made so well says, Christmas, if you would kindly piss off. You know what? This kind of flip using samples saying like fuck Christmas and stuff, I appreciate it. I think that's cool. Totally on theme, but kind of a flip of it. Super hard knocking live kind of sampled drums always get your energy going in the best way possible, right? And the main chop here is not bad at all. Made on the MPC 2000 XL. That's, to me, that's cool.
Christmas.
Fuck Christmas. Fuck Christmas.
Having a little bit of a breakbeaty kind of vibe to it. Nice and aggressive and kind of cool. Looking for the bass line though.
Can you stay with me until the end of the Christmas beat?
No, fuck you. Fuck Christmas.
Christmas.
Call Christmas the C word.
Yeah. Keep looking for the bass line and I can't really find it. So, you know, adding a bass line on the MPC 2000 XL if you're new to it, or if you're kind of old to it, it's not easy. The bass line is there, but I might have tamed it a bit too much in the revision. Okay, cool. I mean, there are lower frequencies in there, but to me, with these headphones right now, there's no like obvious notes hitting. Of course, all sound is notes, but you know what I'm saying. Impressive, cool flip with the strings. It feels evil and kind of upset, but not like to the point where it just becomes a joke. And, you know, it's nice and serious and aggressive and cool. Solid. More bassline though. I would love more bassline if it could be lifted up. But the drums and like this massive sample does a lot of heavy lifting and all the interesting stuff with the vocal samples.
Fuck Christmas.
Christmas.
A real like beat maker's beat. You know, it's not made for a rap or nothing like that. It's a beat maker's kind of beat. I like it a lot. Benj showing up time and time again with really cool submissions. Thanks a lot for this one, Benj. I don't know what to say about it, but maybe something about the mix and the bass is like my main point of feedback for this one. I'll revisit the mix properly to bring the bass back instead of revising mix bus killing bass to fix kick. Yeah, okay. When you're getting into that kind of compromising of one thing and the other, I know what you're talking about. It's easy to get stuck in there, and it's not the end of the world, you know. But in this case, I think this beat would be like nicer and fuller and have more of the oomph with more of a bass line. Let's move along to Icon 74. Icon 74 here, and this is my beat for the Christmas show. The length is 3 minutes, and it does have an ending too. It does have an ending to it, but if you don't want to play the whole thing, that's fine. When you're that nice about it, of course, we're going to play the entire thing. It has an ending. Let's go. It's 3 minutes long, and I think that's fine. Icon 74, the track is called Dark Christmas. Again, with kind of a dark flip of the theme. Not bad. Icon 74, let's hear it.
If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips would be cooked with his own turkey and buried with a stake of hollies through his heart.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Wow. Gift. I want golf clubs. I want diamonds. I want a pony so I can ride it twice, get bored, and sell it to make gold.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. And a Happy New Year.
Yeah, we used the same sample for that. That's kind of a given, but still, cool. And I think it was kind of good that we listened to the entire thing for 3 minutes because it kind of grew on me. The more I listened to it, the more I heard it, the more I understood what you were kind of going for, and it's cool. Someone mentioned kind of Star Wars, the Imperial Christmas March. It has a little bit of that vibe to it, for sure, and that's cool. In this case, it feels like you had kind of an option. Choosing the drums or choosing everything else. And you went with the drums. To me, the mix is unbalanced in a way that makes it kind of, just kind of disappears. Because the drums are that punchy and then we have the rest of the stuff being too low in the mix. And the drums just takes the entire focus off of everything. Just feels like, get in there with a volume fader and just increase the volume of everything else. Maybe increase some of the higher mid frequencies to get it a little bit more punchy. Right now it feels kind of muffled, and maybe that's intentional, kind of lo-fi, whatever. But I think the chops and the strings and everything about this symphonic vibe of it deserves to be heard in kind of a different way. I mean, just thinking about the frequencies, there are like higher, sharper frequencies in the snare drum, and nothing helps with that. Nothing contrasts, well, everything contrasts, but nothing complements that snare pitch, frequency section.
Diamonds, I want a pony so I can ride it twice, get bored, and sell it to make...
To me, sometimes I think that's kind of an important way of thinking about things. If I want these parts in the track, I want these drums. I've made up my mind about these are the drums I'm using. Then make sure that the drums doesn't have something that sticks out that's not represented anywhere else in the beat. In this case, the frequencies of the snare drum are like in a specific frequency range where nothing else lives. Which is not a good sign. You need something up there too. You can't just have, if this is the frequency range, everything can't be down here and then you have a snare going over here. In that case, you need to shift everything else to make kind of a balanced, nuanced situation out of it. The potential here is huge. This track is dope as it is. You did a lot of good work, but something about the mixing and the balance between the drums and everything else could be tweaked. But you have a lot of bells in there, a lot of Christmas bells, which is on theme. I said that last week. Just do whatever and just use some bells and it's going to be Christmassy, and it is. But also dark. And it could still be dark and evil and kind of, aggressive, but still have a little bit more brightness. That's all I'm saying. So I said something about trying to move on quickly, and I'm not. So let's move on to the next one. Icon 74, you know what you're doing. This is good stuff. Something about the mixing. You heard me, and it's all good. But we have a lot of beats to go through, so let's move into the next one from name. If everyone could just put their name kind of early in the email, so I know, because if you don't want me to kind of dox you and say your entire name, which is the mail address, put your name somewhere. Oh, this is Symphonic Beats with the same submission from another email. Yeah, okay. Symphonic Beats send it in with his actual mail. Yeah, Santa's Workshop. It's the same one. Already been played. Let's move on to Vida Beats. Hey, Accurate. Here's my version of a beat for a smooth Christmas. Yeah, that's what I went for too. Smooth Christmas by Vida Beats. The track is called Merry Christmas. Totally on theme. Let's play Vida Beats.
This is the music I selected for Christmas.
Christmas isn't a season, it's a feeling. Do you feel it?
Cool. You know what? I gotta point out how much I kind of love the sonics of this track. Super compressed and, still holds up. It doesn't go overboard with anything. It doesn't fly away too far. It's just in the pocket. And sampling like, I don't know, 80s, 90s R&B stuff. Getting this smoothness in the track and kind of keeping the essence of that, but still making a flip out of it. That's a really nice way of doing it. Because at least someone my age, thinking about 80s and early not 80s, but early 90s MTV in the winter. Like everything is, it has that kind of feeling to it. Everything is super clean, everyone's like clean shaven and. And the fact that you have this drum layer with a kick drum with a little bit of distortion and stuff just adds to the vibe of it. It has a little bit of contrast that's interesting and cool. And, the 80s, 90s R&B sound is kind of corny, to be honest. And flipped in this way, it totally works. And it definitely feels like a Christmas thing. The word you used in your email was smooth, I think. Here's my version of a beat for a smooth Christmas. Yeah, smooth. Smooth Christmas. With the plucked guitar and everything in the background. Almost kind of sexy in that 80s kind of way. And everything from the 808 is still in there with the percussion and stuff. It's corny in kind of a cute way, and it's definitely on theme for the Christmas thing. 100%. But maybe it's because of the sample itself. It feels that polished and good and kind of... Last week we used the word friendly, I think. And that's exactly what this is. Like happy and, not a problem in the world. And the horns. And the horns. In a few places, the mix kind of doesn't hold up and everything gets a little bit too carried away. And I guess that could be seen as a part of it. I think that's fun. Probably a DX7 somewhere. Of course there's a DX7. Probably more than one. Or more layers. But a lot of cool chops. A lot of great work was put in here, for sure. That's the DX7, 100%. That's the whatever patch it's called on the DX7. Yeah, cool. Super 80s, a little bit corny, but what you did with the sample and how everything got together at the end, I think that's cool. Vita Beats, thanks a lot for sending this one. Definitely a Christmas beat. 100% a Christmas beat. Now, let's move on to the next submission from Mohammed Sharif. Hi Accurate, here's a beat that I made to prepare my beat tape. It's not really in the context of Christmas holidays. It's not really in the context of Christmas holidays. It's not even 2 minutes long. I hope you like it and be less harsh to me this time. What have I done? What have I done? Have I made myself an enemy? I hope you like it and be less harsh on me this time. Well. If that's how you feel, gonna be even harsher. Let's listen to Sharif. So this one has nothing to do with the holidays, like holiday spirits of things. And you said it yourself. It doesn't really have anything to do with that. And that's, in that case, this is not a submission for this week's episode because we are trying to keep things on theme. You know, the snowflakes and everything. Let's even just because. Boom. So it's not on theme. We're not going to spend too much time on this one. The problem I feel about this one, because in the email, you wanted me to be less harsh. And no. In this case, what you did with the samples and how it worked out with the flute and also the vocals, I think that's good. It's better than the last time because I think I kind of remember which one it was. It's good. It's a solid kind of foundation for something. But then we have the problem. The bass note you're using together with the kick drum, dum, 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 dum. It's the same note. The entire thing, as it goes, it's the same note. And since you have the different notes that are interesting, you could easily go dum, 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 dum. You could just follow that and it would add a little bit of dynamics and a little bit of feeling and a little bit more variation because, you know, now you have a lot of variation with the different samples going in and out and just creating other things. But if this was like 4 minutes long or even 3 minutes, and the bass note goes on, boom, 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 boom. I mean, it's not very exciting. It feels kind of good. This could be a rap beat for someone to just spit bars on, maybe for like a rap battle or something. For sure. But in terms of how interesting the piece of music is, I think you're closer to the mark here, since you have a bunch of different ways of using the sample, but the bass note could follow along differently. The drums, someone pointed them out as being paper thin, and maybe not, but it could be more punchy. Thin is maybe the right word, because everything feels kind of monotone. The main problem with the musical part of this to me is that we are stuck on the same note the entire time. So it feels a little bit repetitive, but this is better. I think this is way better. Nothing in here stands out as being like out of tune or anything. That's fine. When that one came in, Just drop everything. Drums. You know, the drums could go silent somewhere. You could have a little bit of building up, and you could use more dynamics and just having it flow in a different way. It's not a bad track, but I don't think it's finished. There's more stuff here. The track itself has a lot of potential. That's what I'm saying. The potential is there. Could be worked on in a few different ways that would make it a lot more exciting and fun. Accurate beats. I need new headphones. That's the information that I have now. It doesn't sound like this in my headphone. I mean, it doesn't sound bad, but it could just be more punchy and more out there. But the potential is huge, just like Benjamin points out in the chat room. Massive potential. Yeah, for sure. Every idea you put into this one is a good idea, except from using the same bass note for every single hit, because you have different values in there. You can easily switch it up. This is not bad, but I'm just trying to be, giving feedback. And since it's not on theme whatsoever, let's move along. Already spent a lot of time with that one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Well, no, this is the same guy. We don't have. I think there's more like 5 beats left. This is also a guy with a name I messed up the last time. I said something that sounded like a porn star instead of a producer. Download all these different systems and links and whatever. Why can't everyone just use Dropbox? Because I like Dropbox the best myself. That's the file. Boom, in there. From Lucid Ambrosia. Lucid Ambrosia, no text, no nothing. And the file is also just in the mail. I could just have done that, but whatever. Lucid Ambrosia doesn't say anything, so let's hope it's a Christmas track. Okay, cool. So this is yet another one of those beat makers beats, you know. Using a drum loop or a drum break like that is, I don't have anything against that. That could be really cool. In this case, I feel like the hi-hat sticks out to me in a way that it's kind of hard to just discard. So the hi-hat is too annoying to me. But that's personally, I always lower my hi-hats, whatever. My first thought here, like the first 20 seconds, was like, yep, someone went crazy with a compressor. Someone just overdid something. But the more I heard it, the more I understood that, yeah, it's supposed to be like this. This is a part of the style. And I don't hate it, but I think it's for a specific kind of audience, which is probably just a good thing. But, from kind of a technical standpoint, the compressor is doing so much with the drums and everything, just making the volume really uneven and kind of drifting around. It's not bad, but when you do that, you gotta kind of be, you gotta know that you're doing that. That can't be done by accident. And if you do it, you gotta do it with a little bit of tastefulness, This is good. This is cool as it is. It becomes gritty and dirty and kind of messy in a really cool and musical way. And I'm not hating on that. I'm just saying that whenever you do that with a compressor to just overdrive the signal like that, it has to be done with a sense of, you got to be a little bit careful. That's what I'm trying to say. But like how the main sample works together with the bass, that's like super boom, boom. Love it. Think that's really cool. Dirty 1200 says more compression to the people. Yeah, I thought you was one of those guys. I thought you were. I like my compressors, but I try to compress things in a way that I find to be kind of tasteful. Whatever. We all miss the mark sometimes, and this, I don't think this has missed any marks at all. It's supposed to be like this, and it's cool. It's a specific sound, but it's maybe not for everyone. A lot of impressive stuff with the sample here. A lot of chops going on. No compressor, no beats. Well, I think people... Well, who am I fooling? I'm pretty much... After this stream, I'm going to bed, and I think I'm gonna order a hardware rack compressor for my studio. I have a 2U rack space here that's not filled up with anything. So a proper, like the Clark, the really inexpensive Clark compressor might go in there in just a couple of days. We all like compressors. In this case, it's done in a way that's intentionally kind of messing up the signal. Becomes a little bit ear fatiguing to listen to me, but it's done in a way that kind of makes sense, and the sample work here is impressive. That together with the bass line makes it feel like kind of a DJ-y type of beat, and it's nice. The main sample together with the bass and the deep piano notes counteracts. It's nice. It's cool. Who was this from? Someone we know? This is from, I don't think I said. Yeah, Lucid Ambrosia. Nothing else. This is good stuff. I just gotta point out the fact that this is kind of in its own little musical genre to me. But it's not bad. It's well done and it sounds good. Christmas vibe, not sure I picked that up a lot, but here's another one from Atmosphere. Atmosphere, didn't you say something about this not being on theme at all? In that case, we might actually skip you. We might not. I don't know. But Lucid Ambrosia, this is good stuff. It's good stuff. It's just now, we're at a point where I've listened to so much music that I can't not point out what's obvious about something. The compression in this case, but I'm not saying that it's bad. And I don't know if I even have like the power to say that anything bad or if anyone cares, but yeah, I know what you did and I think it's cool. I don't have the balls to do that myself. Honestly, that's one of the things why I'm saying all this. I don't have the balls to do that. I don't have the self-esteem. You do, and that's good for you. Atmosphere doesn't seem to say anything in the chat, so let's just run it. Atmosphere right now.
Atmosphere.
Man, this is awesome. Damn. 3 hours into a stream, I'm getting like cranky whenever I'm cranky, and I'm getting way too praisey whenever I get praisey. This is... I don't want to talk too much about mixing in general, but we end up talking about mixing a lot. The separation here, the separation between all the different instruments and elements, I mean, for anyone who kind of struggles with having like a muffled low frequency and things colliding, whatever, listen to this one again. The amount of separation that's been done here in such a smart way is, to me, just, In this case, I'm sure you could have used whatever kind of samples in here and still made it work, because everything sits in its own little pocket in a way that makes so much sense. The separation between the different instruments, but still not like ending up with a mix that's hollow or have a bunch of stuff in it.
Atmosphere.
Yeah, okay. The fact that you switched the snare sample from this one to this one. I see what you did and I see why you did it. I'm not sure I love it. Switching it, fine, but this second one just doesn't fit as well. But man, this is really good. This is really good. The drum programming, the slappiness of everything, and the snare drum being awesome, together with the bass and the sample and the space and the room and the separation between the different elements is definitely what makes this one stand out in a great way. This is, I don't even know if this is even remotely Christmas themed, if you even thought about that, or this is something else. I don't fucking care. This is man. Damn. We gotta move on. Damn. Atmosphere. Fire. The next one comes from Akira. This is the name of the file because there's not really a name here. Akira Miyazawa, I think. Working on this now. No pre-mix production. Feels like we're getting far from the Christmas theme.
And then as a fan, I miss when people don't do them just straight. You know, it's something about that type of bounce. I just love that.
So, I guess this file name, Akira Miyazawa, I guess that's where the sample was taken from. The name of the producer is Lawrence. That's what it is. The mixing here, you know, there's a lot of stuff to do with the mixing, but this is no pre-mix production. This is good. I would love to hear, like, you know, a version with a limiter on it at least, to make it a little bit more punchy and a little bit more out there. But it's a groovy kind of drum loop, and I guess Japanese samples chopped up in a way that is pretty cool. Has a lot of interesting energy to it, but what I keep focusing on is the pattern of the snare drum being a little bit too much.
And then as a fan, I miss when people don't do them just straight.
It feels like the loop, as far as the snare goes, needs to be at least twice the length so we don't have the repeating so often. But we're talking about details here.
You know, it's something about that type of bounce. I just love that.
And what you have here is basically a few chords on like a guitar in the background going from one to the next. And then this flute thing that just plays on top of it, creating this kind of transition thing. And sometimes you don't need much more than that, you know. And why don't you need more than that? Because you have a solid rhythmical section. You have a solid drum loop with a lot of groove in it. That's nice and vibey. And also the bass line pulls a lot of heavy lifting here. Properly mixed, this would be great. But we're gonna move on because, you know, it's a nice track. You need to work a little bit more on it, and I think you know that. But it's good. It's good as it is. All I'm saying is that it needs a little bit more processing and maybe some other section that sticks out a little bit more. Because of this snare drum repeating pattern. It's from like a drum fill or something and you did something with it. It's awesome, but it can't be that reoccurring or recurring that often. So we only have a few more submissions left to go. So we're going to speed it up and we're going to go through them because I think we are back on the Christmas theme. I think we are. Hi, accurate. The artist name is Wigmaster. The theme here is Die Hard. That's what I'm saying. Die Hard is officially a Christmas movie. The theme here is Die Hard, Bill Evans sample. The track is called Mash McLean, so that says something. Die Hard is definitely at least connected to Christmas somehow. So let's listen to this one. Submission from Wigmaster.
An ordinary guy who's thrown into extraordinary circumstances. He's not some indestructible, unfeeling, unemotional guy. He's a guy who cares about his own life. He cares about staying alive. This could have very easily become a very heavy, kill everybody, blood and guts, bullets flying everywhere. When your life is on the line, you could die at any moment.
Is the leader sort of looking to you? Who they're looking to is kind of stronger and raw.
Somebody who wants certain things in life, has made certain choices, and goes after them.
I like the idea of that guy. It's very interesting and it's very different.
It must be. This is an incredible space himself, I guess you would say.
There's a lot of production value, and it was a lot of fun.
Ah, that's cool. Something really low energy and feels like, you know, because of all the samples from movies and stuff, it feels like it's more of a track for like some kind of video art project or something. It's nice. It could be more polished and a little bit brighter and whatever like that. But in this case, we got the vibe of it and it's cool for what it is. Maybe a little bit empty and a little bit, you know, a little bit meh. Doesn't have a lot of punch to it. Everything doesn't have to. to me, this feels like almost like a beat maker went ambient and then back to beat maker. Beautiful stuff all over the place, but super low volume, and I can't even crank it anymore. So it needs to be, finished and whatever. But the sample work and everything is beautiful. It's just, it becomes this nice place to be more than like a beat to snap your neck to, And that has a time and a place, and that serves a purpose for sure. But again, over compressing, using compression as kind of an effect more than a tool, has a time and a place. In this case, it feels like a perfect thing to go between bangers on like a beat tape. Classically a beat tape kind of production. More of an interlude or some kind of skit going between tracks. And I appreciate it. But in this kind of context, it becomes a little bit weird, The vocal samples were kind of thrown in for the theme. Yeah, I kind of guessed so. And that's totally fine, But to me, this is a beautiful kind of soundscape. 70% of it is that, and like 30% of it is an actual beat. Whatever a beat is supposed to mean, I don't even know.
Is the leader sort of looking to you?
But the mixing is weird. Depending on the use case. If you want this to be kind of a suggestive thing in the background for something that's just adding a bunch of vibe, it's fine as it is. If you want it to sound like a more polished kind of piece of work, going in a little bit less crazy with the master compressor here would probably make sense. But who am I to say? Who am I? That's a duplicate from Benj. And there's another one from Wigmaster. So this is going to be the last beat for today from Sylvian. Hi there. I've got full thematic on this one. Good. We're going to end off with something that's fully on theme. I've gone full thematic on this one. I made a resample of a cassette with old Romanian carols. I just finished it. Don't judge the mix. It's just a mood of reinventing carols. Okay, so an old cassette with Romanian carols, and you sampled that and made something. This is going to be on theme, guys. This is going to be on Christmas/holiday theme by Sylvian. Cool. So, yeah. Guys, this is the final track for today. The final submission for today's little Christmas holiday special. I asked you guys last week if it was kind of too crazy to ask for a theme for in a week, and you said, no, do it. It's going to be totally doable. And it was, The last beat for today, right now, let's go.
Marminul se întâmplară. Hristos se naște, Domnul pogoară, îngerii cântă, magii îl adoră. Păstori alergă, iesnea înconjoară, Marminul se întâmplară. Hristos se naște, Domnul pogoară, îngerii amarmi non sento implora.
So, yeah, that's the last beat for today. And honestly, since I'm not kind of familiar at all with this sample material, it's impossible for me to know what you did here. It's just, it sounds like an old Romanian carol that you found on a tape. You said I made a resample of a cassette with old Romanian carols. I just finished it. For me right now, it's, again, impossible to know what the work is here. Oh, Jesus. Didn't have time to mute the mic either. But this last little soundscapey kind of thing set the tone. You know, it's all about Christmas. It's all about the holidays. It's all about giving. It's all about being close to the family and love and all of that stuff that we should all cherish and appreciate. But who made it? Yeah, that's a good question. Who made it? Sylvian. That's what I got. Sylvian. It might just be uncut tape. I don't know. It does sound like recorded cassette tape. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, if you just find an old cassette tape and just resample it, and that's what I'm saying. For me right now, it's impossible to say what you did and being like, yeah, good work with the chopping and the production and because to me it's just, it might just be unedited, an unedited tape recording. Who knows? But you know what, guys? Icon74 said it too in the chat room. We should do a theme every episode. And we should. I just need to come up with stuff and think about things. Ideally, I want to put samples in your hands. But I can't just sample a piece of vinyl and send it to you. That's me distributing music that I don't have the rights to. Which would not work whatsoever, even if that would be like the coolest and most fun way to do it. I just can't. So we're going to have to think about something else, maybe coming up with different themes, and you guys can find your own samples. Maybe I'm going to make samples for you guys. We've talked about that before, and that's going to happen. But yeah, doing a theme every single episode makes more sense, so I'm not just getting, I made this one 6 years ago and I think it sucks. Have a listen. That's not what it's supposed to. Every stream, maybe not every stream. This show is over. Over and out. I'm going to sign out real soon. I'm just going to talk a little bit, but the actual beat review is over. Thanks a lot for all the submissions. I just got to point that out. It's crazy that you guys did this. Let me see the playlist here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, 23 beats. 23 beats. We played and went through 23 beats tonight. Whoo! That's good. That's good. So, I want to take this opportunity whenever I have like a few watchers left. Viewers is the word, not watchers. When we have a few viewers left, I want to point this out. 2025 was a year where I was kind of depressed. Not my best year at all. There's been a lot of stuff with my day job that I'm really not happy about, and it's just bad situation on top of a bad situation on top of a bad situation that has made me sad. I'm happy for a lot of things in life, but my working life, so many hours in the week, has just been putting me down. I'm not going to go into the details. It's not interesting, but I just want to point it out. I've been pretty much miserable this entire year, And that needs to stop. I need to turn this around, and I'm gonna. One way of doing that is to dive deeper into everything that has to do with this YouTube channel and my creativity and you guys and the community, the beat reviews, my normal videos, doing more sponsored stuff, doing more videos on gear and everything. And I'm gonna put in one last pull, one last push for this thing. Not just to kind of make money and make this into my living, whatever, fuck all that. But for me to actually have something fun to do that I'm excited about. Because whenever I dive into this rabbit hole of being creative and making stuff for you guys and for the channel and for myself for music and everything, I feel better because of all that. All that helps me with everything else that's going on. My working life is what it is, and I'm just going to have to accept that and bite the bullet and focus on something else too, to kind of find a better balance in life. So 2026, again, you know this about me. I'm trying to keep my promises, so I don't make a lot of promises. So this is not a promise at all. But my plan and my hope for the future is to do more live streams, making beats on a live stream, making beat reviews on live streams, making more videos on gear, just coming up with ideas for content that I think is interesting and valuable to share. I'm not going to care at all about the fucking algorithm and YouTube shorts and TikTok and whatever, what you're supposed to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. Sure, Instagram and short form videos is maybe going to be a part of that sometimes, or maybe I don't know. I'm not going to fight for getting views. I'm just going to fight for making stuff that I find enjoyable. And yeah, this is me having a little bit of a rant after all this. It's all over. This is all about me now. I just want to share that with the few of you still watching. Because it matters to me and it means something. Someone told me that a lot of people would kill for being in your position, just having a channel with 100,000 subscribers. And that doesn't mean much these days, but still, I've come this far for a reason. And just not doing stuff doesn't make sense for me as a person. So I'm going to try to turn everything around. And one way of doing that is to go deeper, go harder on this creativity stuff that I really love doing. But I've just kind of not allowed myself to go to that place as much as I kind of need or as I think I deserve. So there's going to be more stuff. And I think I'm going to, I'm open to talk about this. If anyone has any questions or any ideas, suggestions for videos or for concepts or whatever, all ears. Interested to hear whatever anyone has to say, because that's just a thing. So that's my little rant. You're gonna see more of me in the future, even though I'm not promising weekly content or anything. I'm just gonna allow myself to create a better year. This depressed kind of mind state that I've been in for so long is, it's not worth it. It's not supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be better. It's supposed to be fun. And I'm going to make videos that suck. I'm going to think about my YouTube channel as I'm starting over, pretty much. So I'm going to go back to making videos that no one cares about. Because I like it. And because I'm allowed to. Because I can. So, that's been said. Now, I'm gonna read the chat room. Tombo Sports. Yeah, I'm live. Thanks a lot for checking in. Too bad that you missed the entire show. Now it's just me talking about myself. We've done 3 hours of beat reviews on a holiday theme. It used to be like this. Now, it's like this. It's time for me to sign out and leave you guys for tonight. Just gonna read some of the encouraging words from the chat room. We will see tomorrow if YouTube takes the video down. Yeah, this video is not gonna be monetizable, but I don't think I'm gonna get a strike. I'm just gonna get a copyright claim, and they're gonna take the money, and I don't care. This video is not monetized, but whatever. You got this, sweet, that's what's up. I know the feeling, sometimes it's hard to do fun shit. Yeah, Sarah Too Ill hit 100K yesterday and she was psyched. Yeah, I know, I wasn't there for it, but I saw that she posted something about it. 100K is cool, it's a good feeling. I reached that a few years ago, and right now I'm at 109,000. So the channel is stagnated, and that's what it is. But I'm gonna keep doing this for my own sake, just to have something to do and have fun and whatever. And you guys are awesome, helping out a lot. Not that I'm asking for help. Not that I'm asking for help, because I don't. I'm just telling you guys that I'm gonna do more stuff in the future for myself. And you're going to be able to see it if you subscribe and whatever. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is that 2026 is going to be an awesome year. It's going to be fantastic. A lot of beats, a lot of creativity, a lot of gear, a lot of videos about me and my interests. And my interests are right here. MPCs, pedals, synthesizers, drum machines, software, hardware, whatever. So, more videos about stuff like that too, for sure. But, guys, it's time to say goodnight and leave for tonight. I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, Happy New Year, and everything like that. Being blessed with this amount of music from you guys has been nothing but a blessing. It's just awesome. Thank you guys a lot. So what I'm saying is just thank you. And I made a submission too this week, so that's fun for me. So peace out and take care and happy holidays. Take care. Peace out.